I'm thinking about this video, and initially, I like the overall idea, but initially I wasn't going to put this one out. But this whole topic keeps coming up a lot in conversation, and I just wanted to share my quick thoughts. The term high value man gets thrown around a lot these days, especially online, right? I'm sure you've heard it talked about in YouTube videos, podcasts, and a lot with dating content. But just like a lot of other buzzwords, it means different things depending on who's talking. And look, just for the record and to be very clear, I am not over here claiming to be the definition of a high value man. There are some traits that I do have, but there's also some that I'm still working on. I've made a lot of mistakes and I've done some really dumb stuff, but I've also owned it when I was wrong or when I was the one who screwed up. I'm not perfect. And at least in my opinion, just that in itself is one of the traits of a high value man, right? Taking ownership of his weaknesses and doing what he can to get better. Not flipping it and blaming somebody else or making excuses. Again, I'm not over here saying I'm one thing or another, but I will say I have got a bunch of life lessons under my belt that I'm still learning from. At its core, a high value man is a man of substance and of quiet leadership. He's someone who's got his life together. He knows his worth, and he brings something real to the table. Not just money, not just status, and not just looks. He brings integrity. He does what he says he'll do, right? If he says he's going to be there, he shows up. He stands for something, and he's not full of excuses. He also brings direction. He knows where he's going. Even if he's not quite there yet, he's still moving forward with purpose, and he's making progress. He also brings discipline and self-respect. He takes care of his body, his mind, his money, and also his time. He's not perfect, but he is intentional, and he puts in the hard yards when nobody's looking. He also has emotional intelligence, right? He knows how to communicate and control his emotions. He knows how to handle conflict, and he doesn't crumble under pressure. He owns his mistakes, right? If he messes up, he doesn't make excuses. He owns everything that he's done, apologizes to the best of his ability, and does everything in his power to do better in the future. Because look, let's be honest here, man. Life isn't easy. You're going to have setbacks, challenges, and a lot of moments that are just completely unfair. That's where emotional maturity and self-respect come into play. A high-value man doesn't spiral out of control when things go sideways. He doesn't crumble over criticism that he receives or chase the people who don't see his worth. Instead, he centers himself, learns, and also adapts. His ability to self-regulate and stay composed is one of those things that earns him the most respect. He also has social value, right? People respect him and women are drawn to him. Not because he's pounding his chest or announcing that he's alpha, but because he has presence and a quiet confidence. There is an unspoken energy that you give off when you walk into a room. It doesn't come from what you're wearing or how loud you are. It's the quiet confidence of a man who's done the work, right? You've built discipline within yourself and you've pushed through the excuses. It's an earned value. But here is the misconception. Too many guys think that it means making a high six-figure income or driving an exotic sports car, dating 6 women at the same time, or commanding respect from other men. Now, some of that isn't necessarily all bad, but if that is all you have, you're just performing value, right? You're not actually living it. A guy can have all of those things and still be lost and completely insecure. Real value goes deeper. A high-value man doesn't chase people. He doesn't beg for approval. He doesn't tell everyone what he's got because he doesn't need to brag or prove himself to anybody. And most importantly, he doesn't complain about what he's not willing to change. If you want to be viewed as high value, start by respecting yourself enough to improve, even if nobody's watching. Your fitness, your style, your communication, your boundaries, and your money habits all matter. I think the real takeaway here is that a true high-value man doesn't need to say that he's high value. He just is. So stop chasing that title and start doing the work that it takes to become that title. And with that said, gentlemen, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching.